Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to look at some emotions, some heavy energies that I'm feeling right now. And I definitely would admit that I am feeling just a bit disconnected for some reason. It's strange. Could be that I've been doing a lot of practicing just going within to the point where reality seems a bit unfulfilling at times. But then at the same time, when I am engaged with reality, that means just my everyday activities, living life, and interacting with the family. I'm very present, and that feels good. So there's like a balancing that needs to happen. Perhaps, I'm not sure. I made 2 calls today. I hadn't made these calls for a while, connecting with loved ones, and I had to force myself to do it because I've been in this hermit mode for so long, and I'm trying my best to get out of this mode, and it's just, I've become very comfortable. Very comfortable. Some would even say complacent, where doing basic things in the community might be a bit of a struggle for me now. So I don't know if that's where you're at, if you resonate with any of that, just feeling disconnected, seeking a place to call your own, being on this journey as far as self-discovery or going within, as far as the shadow side, the aspects of yourself, and even just of existence that you're either unfamiliar with, trying to explore and figure out, trying to make sense of just life in general. This message may definitely be for you. So welcome in. Thank you so much for allowing me into your space and allowing this transmission is what I'm hearing. So transmission, this is the Virgo that came out in the reverse. Virgo, and I don't take these cards in the reverse typically. So all right, okay. I'm hearing overeating. I know I've been indulging a lot in different things that I fancy, but something may not be making sense is how I'm reading Virgo in the reverse. Like someone, may not be connecting the dots. Could be myself included. Again, I'm including myself in this message just so that I can explore some things on camera with the collective. So I know for sure some things are just not making sense in my reality, in my world, in my living existence. Okay, for example, I went to a meeting recently, professional meeting, just with the team, and I just observed. I found myself being very observant this time, and I usually am very observant to begin with, but this time it was more so. I didn't really count myself as one of the team members, although I did. So it's so strange. It's like the in-between is what I'm getting. So I observed the interaction, and what I realized is that there were some judgments that were coming out when I saw certain things, and then I had to be aware of these judgments, which is great because usually I'm not aware of the judgments that I place on situations or individuals like in real time. So that's something I'm practicing. Be in present, to be aware of just how I'm judging a situation and then releasing that judgment, okay? Because I'm working on infusing more love into every exchange, every interaction that I engage with or in. So there was an experience I observed, and I didn't like how it felt. I didn't like what I was seeing. And then I was questioning, okay, why do I have to like what I'm seeing? It's just that what I was seeing did not resonate with me. It did not connect with me, or I couldn't relate with that. And usually what I would do, I would try to insert my little, 2 cents here and there, and, try to shift something as far as how the exchange is going. But I left it alone. I just observed, and I took note, and leaving there, I just had a lot of thoughts, concerning not necessarily my career choice, because I'm doing what I enjoy doing, which is counseling, community-based counseling, right? So I deal with a lot of younger clients as well as some, adults, but primarily younger clients. And I do like the aspect of supporting someone through their discomfort, their challenges, and helping to shift the narrative or that internal dialogue where, they may have some negative thought patterns. You got to challenge it and all of that jazz. Okay, so cool. There was something else that was amiss, though. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, and I think I'm still trying to put my finger on it. 616 just came out with this other card. This is Solar Calm, Clarify, right? So clarify. Something that needs to be clarified. I don't know what it is. Something that maybe I have already processed with the Virgo, something that I've already reviewed, or something that I didn't fully look at, or that the collective hasn't fully looked at or understood in a way that would make sense, or that would okay, so it could be that Ashe, wow, that's different. Okay, think about your vision, right? You're seeing a certain way, your perception on your experience. That is what's being clarified. So something is being refined, okay, redefined. Okay, something is being redefined in a way that brings a lot more depth or deeper resonance or clarity or understanding, however you want to word it or preface that. So there's a okay. So what I'm getting now, the collective, we're learning how to integrate the new sense of self, the new state of mind, the new sense of presence. We're learning how to integrate that into our now, our reality, and that can cause somewhat of a I'm getting cognitive dissonance, right? Like where you're expecting something to be, but then it's different than what you're expecting. And even though you're trying to find oneness, you can't find the oneness within society or within a certain, let's say, group or community. And then, well, where is this oneness at? And at the same time, it's trying to be at peace with the experience where you're non-judgmental and you're infusing love. So there is an amalgamation of just a lot of thoughts and a lot of new energy that could be merging together and trying to take form. So something possibly is taking form right now, and the vision is not quite clear. So there could be some dulling or dullness. And clearly, well, for me personally, because I went to the gym today, hadn't gone consistently for a while, and so this is the second time of recent I'm going in this month. Which, my gosh, I need to stretch more, right? That's the main thing. My muscles, right? They need to be stretched, and so something could be stretching our idea about just our existence. Yeah, it feels like a rubber band. Like we're being stretched to see things from a higher perspective. And sometimes when you see certain things, it's like, how do you bring that back down into the present moment, right? Because you don't have a space to really share that in your everyday life where others are gonna be validating these experiences. So how do you go into this dark space, explore the depths of just yourself, right? Because this is what we're talking about. And then what you've ascertained, pulling that back into the now, right? To the material, so that you can work with it and even maybe share it with other people. So I haven't been making videos as of late consistently because I am still trying to merge this new, okay? And so I just looked at the deck. It showed me the card Saturn, and it was in the reverse. And again, I don't take these cards in the reverse. So Saturn being in the reverse, it's almost like an undoing of something, the unlearning, okay, that whatever you learned about yourself, it is being erased in a way. And so it's where am I? Who am I? What am I? How am I? How do I now exist in this new? And so the Saturn, the things, the structure that has been built and the framework that we've all learned to navigate from, it's dissolving, right? And so not everyone is going to understand this shifting. Not everyone's going to be able to connect with whatever you're going to say in the moment, but give it time. I told you I made a couple calls today that I hadn't connected with these individuals for a while, loved ones at that. And I intentionally had disconnected from these relationships because I'm finding that, my persona or identity, just the way I've been operating, is not from my truest sense of being. And so that needed to be reshaped, or that needed to be discovered or brought to the surface. Okay, so the emergence of self, right? And when you come out of this water, this deep place of just the unknown, and it's like the skin is still soft or wet, right? It hasn't even dried, it hasn't even solidified, right? It's still like you're still connected to the placenta, or the umbilical cord is still there, right? And so it's very delicate, it's very fragile. And so the disconnect that I went on intentionally was and I just got this revelation for myself. I had to divorce myself. As I was going through a physical divorce, I had to divorce myself from the identity that was created from I was born, so that I can see what is the true me, and what are the parts of me that were created to protect, or created to shield, or created to exist in a world that was unwilling or not ready to accept and embrace the true me, right? And so that is that wetness I talk about when you peel something off, like the placenta, right? There's this delicate part that is being formed right now, and the reforming or redefining, it's almost like you can't truly define this new, right? It's not supposed to take a shape per se. And so that's the challenge that I'm having, because letting go of one thing, right, Saturn in the reverse, or just unlearning certain things, and then coming into a space where now I am existing with myself in a way that is balanced and that is more authentic, okay, my truth or my North Star, whatever you want to call that. And then now integrating that into my experiences, that I think is where I am at a standstill, or I'm going to uncover it with you guys to see, is it fear? Is it just it's still in the process? Or what's causing perhaps myself and the collective to still feel very comfortable in this zone of isolation and can't even place the word, but okay, let's see. You see that card? It says tension, right? So there's some type of tension. There's some type of could be a conflict, inner conflict. It could be some type of messages that we're getting that are giving us mixed information or mixed signals. Something about maybe the direction where we're headed, and then maybe this is like just normal, like this tension, like the rubber band, right? The rubber band creates this tension when you pull it. And so maybe we're doing too much. Like today when I went to the gym, I didn't really have a specific itinerary or objective other than, okay, I'm going to the gym. That's what I needed to do, right? I brought my yoga mat and I found a space, in the gym to just be focused on self without a lot of the distractions. And that's what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm wanting to get out, but then there's so much noise out. There's so many, and mind you, this space was very intimate, it's very quiet. So it wasn't like, not even a handful of 10 folks was there yet. I mean, this is like one of the first ones there, right? In this particular space anyway. And so I decided to do just some yoga stretches and mindful meditation and things, deal with breath work and all of that. And I had a beautiful window that I was able to look at out into, which is green grass. I see the bees and I see the dragonfly, and the sun is shining. And so I'm like, okay, this is good. This is a safe space. So even in public, I'm actually creating this safe space where I can still be inside of myself, which is so strange, but not strange at all. And because it was very comforting for me to be in this zone where I wasn't necessarily interacting with folks, but yet I'm still around folks. And so it's just so different. And I'm just trying to find my footing, and I'm sure many of us are trying to find our footing. And so the rubber band, right, could be stretching us. Maybe that's where we're at, being stretched to like just step outside where we're uncomfortable, right? Which, yeah, I stepped outside and I went to the gym and I did something that wasn't quite my norm or comfortable, because I usually stretch in the home, in my room, and this was different, and it was an enjoyable experience overall. I did enjoy it, but I'm like, well, I could have just did that at home. That was the thought, like, afterwards. But I'm sure there's more that's going to come out of that experience that I haven't fully that I'm not able to appreciate at this moment. So in any case, this stretching, this tension here is stretching some parts of us, right? Some parts of us is stretching because my muscles were so tight. So we need to stretch. Okay, so we've been so recoiled, or we've constricted ourselves so much, or our cells have been constricted for whatever reason. Why have our cells been constricted? This just came out. Achieve. Okay. So yeah, this tension underneath the achieve is telling me that it's supporting, the tension is supporting something, right? The tension is supporting some type of goal. It's going to help us to get to a certain place in our journey, or in our awakening, or whatever it is you want to label it. Even with the labeling, and do my best to refrain from that also, but partnership. So it's helping us to come together with others, okay? Because when we come together with others, there's going to be a lot of differences, which I totally get that. I observed that last week in that professional meeting where, I'm just sitting back and feeling, to be honest, quite solitary, quite alone. And I'm telling you, I'm interacting, but I'm still not connecting with the soul of the individuals that I'm interacting with. And there's just a strong desire for this deep connection that, if it's not present, it's unfulfilling for me now, right? The casualties. And this has been something that I've experienced for years now, right? Like I've spoken to someone recently, and I was telling them, yeah, when I was, in my early 20s, being amongst very familiar people, I felt very alone and had to remove myself and go sit somewhere in a parking lot and like shed tears. And at the time, reading my scripture, I was taken to Jeremiah and just retracking his path and his loneliness and just his solitude that he experienced on his path to, be the witness and the servant that he was. And there is no comforting that you can find in another person regarding that type of fullness that the soul requires. I'm going to say requires, okay? It's like food, right? So the body requires food, right? Certain types of food to be optimal or to be sustained. And yeah, we eat every single day, but we can put shit in our gut and it creates just discomfort and disharmony, right? It's the same thing with the soul, that it requires things, but there's not much things you can put in it that will bring that sense of fullness or wholeness. Or, and it's not that anything is fractured or broken, that's not what I'm saying. It's just home can only be found, I guess, with those who have already found home. I don't know if that's what I'm trying to say here. So this is achieving something where you're coming together, or the collective is desiring to make sense of these connections, because partnership just came out here. Number 31 could be significant for someone. That does go to 4, right? If you're looking into numerology, it's a sense of balance, togetherness, but it's the foundation. It's okay, so the foundation is being laid for the new. I talked about placenta, I talked about plasma, I talked about this soul desire or longing for this oneness, and you will find it only when you turn within. Like, truly, only when you turn within is that's the place you're gonna find it. Regarding the numerology, just a reminder, numbers that came up to me today that kept on giving me a reminder that, okay, you're not alone, you have company, number 1212, number 444, number 21, was it 1221 or 2112, something like that, that mirroring number, 616 also. So I'm getting syncs from the universe to just kind of give me the gentle embrace and the gentle nudge to say, okay, Miriam, you are where you need to be. It may feel a bit unsteady right now, but ground yourself. And that's what I was attempting, and that's what I did today. But it didn't stop the feeling. And so it's acknowledging, okay, this is how this part of my journey is causing me to feel for whatever reason. And after I made the connections with the loved ones that I did connect with, it was like it further validated, whoa, like even when you reach out to familiar faces, that will not replace this soul connection, right? This higher need to resonate at a very honest and pure level with yourself and with others, okay? And so I also found out in those brief exchanges that some people may only be able to tolerate your energy for short periods of time, maybe 5 minutes, maybe less than 10 minutes. And that's okay. If you find that, after a short period of time interacting with someone, like you're getting the signal that, okay, they're ready to be done, then that's just a confirmation for you guys, okay? We have the South Node here. This is referring to, and there's 3 and we have 3 out here, as I was just speaking about numbers, synchronicity. So the past, okay, so something about the past partnerships, past situations. Okay, so something was unresolved from the past, and that could be what's causing some of the tension, okay? But it looks like that maybe you're getting some clarity with whatever new information you could be receiving from a partner, from partnerships, from loved ones, whatever that may be. The initial contact might be a sense of tension, but it will ultimately achieve the goal or the outcome that it's supposed to achieve, because then we have this next card, which is trine. So we have a square and then a trine. My understanding of a trine, which I'm not an astrologist, nowhere near, but I'm looking at the birds and I'm looking at the ribbons, and this is symbiosis. So this is something that is going to be able to be smoother. It's going to be more fluid. Okay, so I'm getting water, okay, and air. Like, it's not going to be as static, okay, in the air, okay, as things progress, okay. So just acknowledge the sensations, know that things are moving and clarity is at work. It's something that's going to be like bringing you a sense of okay, confirming within your being, like, okay, this is what's happening. I don't have to judge this situation. I just have to allow it to be, and allow it to process or progress. So allow something to process in the way that it needs to without rushing, and then gradually you'll find that there will be progression in this specific area, because again, we have Capricorn energy, which is a sense of arriving to the goal or the destination, or achieving the intended outcome to whatever situation. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. 22555 on the time stamp. Okay, this is going to be our last card. 26 could be a sync for someone, so this is definitely what's happening, I feel anyway. This is a realigning, okay? This is the systems being recalibrated. This is coming into a sense of harmony within, okay? And it does take time. It could be that there's things we need to look at from the past to help us move past some difficulties. And once you do that, you might find that things start to resolve on its own, or it tends to like lighten up. Okay, so we could be seeing 555 as a number synchronicity as well. Birds, we have 3 cards with birds on it, so I could be speaking to an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, and I am a Gemini, so definitely resonating with me. And 2 earth signs, which is the Virgo on the Capricorn, right? And so you could have strong earth placements, or it could just simply mean that whatever you are thinking about, right, air sign, whatever is going on in the mental, because that's what it speaks about, is think about Mercury energy, right? I believe the ruler of Virgo, if I recall. But yeah, 3rd house, Gemini energy. Okay, so something about the mental processing of information, how you understand things, that could be shaping something. It could have shaped the way in which things transpired, but there's going to be an undoing. Again, it's the Saturn, perhaps in Saturn. What am I want to say? I want to say return. So something may have to be returned. Something is returning, possibly for a review. Okay, retrograde. I'm like thinking Saturn in retrograde. I don't know why that came up. So something could have happened where something had to be repeated for whatever reason to really get the point across, or to help you see that, okay, this is just not gonna fly, whatever that this is, okay? And hopefully once you get that under your belt, and then you'll be able to like shift into the direction that it looks like you're being guided to, right? If you're attempting to go forward anyway, or just create a sense of balance and harmony and calm within your psyche. Okay, I'm getting the psyche, and that could just be what we're talking about right now. So that's the message. If it resonates, don't forget to like and let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your feedback, okay? And thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.